WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A developing story tonight at 6 as state troopers are looking for an Arkansas man in Webster County. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says Dante Kirby of Pine Bluff was pulled over on Highway 82 near Mathiston this morning. While the trooper was conducting an investigation, MHP says Kirby ran away while wearing handcuffs. Kirby does have ties to East Columbus and could be in the area, and he's a convicted felon. If you know where Kirby is tonight, call 911. Cases and concerns continue to rise after the state reported another high number of COVID-19 cases today. Hospitals are steadily filling up, and it's leaving health officials concerned about the number of patients they can house. Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio to explain.
That's right, Joey. State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs says COVID-19 is getting worse throughout the state, and that increase in cases has 5 of the largest hospitals in Mississippi full.
We've had a steady increase in coronavirus cases, deaths, hospitalizations over the past several weeks, which is not a surprise. We've been talking about this, saying it's coming, and here it is.
On Tuesday, 703 new COVID cases were reported in the state. Dr. Thomas Dobbs says the ability to provide patient care is creating more questions than answers.
When I talk to my ER colleagues, I'm understanding they can't get them anywhere because there's nowhere to send them. We're sending people out of state all the time because Mississippi hospitals cannot take care of Mississippi patients.
OCH Regional Medical Center has 3 COVID-19 patients, with 1 in ICU. 3 beds are available, with others on reserve. Baptist Golden Triangle has 12 patients in ICU. They have the capacity to add additional beds if needed. In a statement from North Mississippi Medical Center, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jeremy Blanchard says there are ICU beds available at the Tupelo Hospital and within their system to care for COVID and non-COVID patients.
I am also convinced that what we're doing now is not working. It is not safe, it is not smart, and it is not effective. We went from shelter in place to really wide open.
UMMC Chancellor Lou Ann Woodward and Governor Tate Reeves are urging citizens to wear a mask.
What we have got to find is the right place in that middle ground. We have got to find a way to live. We've got to find the right way to live with this virus for the foreseeable future.
What we're trying to ask Mississippians to do is to recognize the risk that we as a state currently face, and we're asking our local law enforcement teams and officers to help people adhere to these rules and guidelines and just use common sense.
And it's going to take several medical facilities to keep control on the outbreak. Dr. Dobbs says rural hospitals will be used for any overflow.
Now is the time for the hospitals to have to step up and try to counter the impacts of reckless social behavior.
Itawamba Community College has an agreement with the MSDH to serve as an official site in North Mississippi to be used as an alternative care site. Any facility that will be used will be completely isolated during use and sanitized post-activation. Now, there are also plans for opening Camp Shelby if hospitals in the state become overwhelmed.
13 Mississippi counties now have mask mandates. Hinds, Rankin, and Madison are under the mandate, as is DeSoto County. Harrison, Jackson, Washington, Wayne, Quitman, Jefferson, and Claiborne counties are on the list. The mandate also extends to Sunflower and Grenada counties. The governor announcing that today. He says he can include other counties if the need arises. 16 more Mississippians died from COVID-19 as the state health department says the death toll tops 1,200. And as reported moments ago, the Department of Health reports 703 new cases today. Based on presumed recovered numbers provided by MSDH, there are about 10,200 active cases in Mississippi. 939 people are in the hospitals across the state. Over 100 of those patients are on ventilators. 71% of coronavirus cases do not require hospitalization. Lee, Oktibbeha, and Lowndes counties have the highest infection rate in the viewing area with over 500 cases. Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton is advocating for more federal relief for local towns and cities to help with economic shortfalls in the wake of COVID-19 related shutdowns and other measures. Shelton testified from his Tupelo office for the Homeland Security Committee. That committee is looking at how cities, towns, and states have been impacted by COVID-19. Shelton says direct financial relief to cities and towns will help.
You've got two major pieces of legislation, the HEROES Act, which is more from the Democratic side, and the SMART Act, which is more from the Republican side. So maybe they can get together and kind of mesh the two. They're going to have to learn to compromise. Nobody's going to get 100% of everything they want. But hopefully both of those pieces of legislation have some element of reimbursement for local governments.
The committee is chaired by Representative Benny Thompson of Mississippi. Shelton is hopeful lawmakers will pass some sort of relief bill by the end of the year. It's been a challenging year for restaurant owners across the country, COVID-19 placing them in uncharted territory. WCBI's Bobby Martinez talks to owners at Restaurant Tyler and Little Dewey in Starkville about lessons COVID-19 has taught them about the restaurant industry.
It's been a year of adjustments for restaurant owners across the country due to COVID-19. And while this pandemic has presented them with difficult challenges, there also have been lessons learned.
Staying humble.
And we're just kind of rolling with the punches.
It has been a slow grind this year for restaurant owners here in Mississippi. Bart Wood, owner of the Little Dewey in Starkville, has been in business for 35 years and says COVID-19 continues to teach him lessons.
From different regulations, from different this and that. And, just being humble, thankful is what we've learned. And it's helped us, to serve our customers inside, outside, how we have to do it.
Wood says one thing that has helped him during this tough time is the community support.
Our clientele has literally been our rescue during this thing because, we're not set up here to do outside curbside, but we are now. We've still got our signs up now, and we'll continue that on once this is over. But we've had to learn how to do a lot of things new. And that's really allowed us to be able to serve our clientele.
At Restaurant Tyler, owner Ty Timms says never losing sight of providing the best customer service possible is a critical lesson he has learned.
Every day it's like, how it's evolving and changing, but, we're just kind of rolling with the punches as things come on, and we're just doing everything we can to provide the safest environment possible.
Timms has also relied on technology to help speed up the ordering process and limit the interaction between the customer and the employee. So can you talk to me how this QR code actually works?
Sure. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pull out your camera app on your phone. Okay. You put the camera out like you're going to take a picture of the QR code. On the top of your phone, the tab will come up, a toast tab. You push that, and then that directs you right to the menu.
Gotcha.
Super easy, really user-friendly.
Both owners also say social media has played a major role in working to provide their customers the same personal experience they are used to having in the dining room.
Live view in Tupelo right now, looking off to the east. A little bit of a dying shower. We were watching a pretty good downpour there over the last half hour or so. That's really fizzled. You can see it right there is south of Manatee approaching Fulton. A few other blips here on radar up towards Ripley in Tippah County. A bigger batch of activity. Let's zoom on into this down here west of Eupora. Some pretty good downpours right along 82, Winona, Kilmichael, Eupora, back to the north along Highway 9, Calhoun City and Bruce. Some good downpours, some thunder and lightning in this here. So don't be surprised if you do see this as we go throughout the course of the next little bit here. We'll keep the chances for some showers and storms going, especially in the near term this evening. A bit of a break, I think, and then more storms possible as we get into our day tomorrow. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Highway 182 near Stark Road in Starkville was forced to close this afternoon. A medical helicopter was called to the scene of a construction accident. Starkville Police spokesman Brandon Lovelady tells WCBI the accident apparently involved a nail gun. At this time, we still do not know how severe the injuries are. Drivers were forced to find another route. The road reopened shortly after 1:30. A man is arrested in a Nettleton shooting that left one person injured. 37-year-old James Staples is the suspected shooter in the June 27th incident that happened on Alicia Circle. The victim was shot and treated at North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo. Staples fled and was later arrested without incident July 7th by Etowah County deputies and the North Mississippi Narcotics Unit. He's facing charges of aggravated assault and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. Staples is currently awaiting bond. The Monroe County Sheriff's Department will soon become part of the North Mississippi Narcotics Unit. The unit is made up of police and sheriff's departments from across the region. The unit shares information on suspected drug traffickers and manufacturers and assists in arrests and surveillance. Monroe County Sheriff Kevin CROOK says there are many advantages working with other agencies in the unit.
Manpower is one advantage, but intel is probably the best advantage. Being able to work together on a case and follow a case that maybe starts in Monroe County may end up in Prentiss County, you know, or somewhere else. It's all connected. And Jim Johnson was nice enough to swear our guys in early, so we've already been working across the county lines with Lee County while we've been waiting on this.
The state is expected to approve an interlocal agreement allowing Monroe County to become part of the unit. That approval could come by the end of the week. CROOK says his deputies have made more than 60 felony drug arrests since the beginning of the year. When we come back, behind the lens of a local business that is changing with the times. WCBI News at 6.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. COVID-19 related shutdowns and measures put into place to slow the spread of the virus has meant drastic changes in planning for many local businesses. WCBI's Allie Martin tells us about a local video production company that has had to find ways to adapt to the unexpected changes.
This time of year is typically prime time for weddings, and Premium Productions is usually booked through the summertime, helping couples celebrate their special day. But when COVID-19 hit, many of those weddings were postponed, so the Tupelo-based production company has found a new market, helping the class of 2020 celebrate a very unique year. Business owner Alan Pegues says it all started with a phone call
from the principal of Aberdeen High School, just asking for basically just a quote of what it would take to film their high school graduation. And that turned out to be an awesome success. And from there came Tupelo High School graduation and West Point High School graduation, Columbus High School graduation, TCPS, and some others, which really worked out great.
Pegues says it's been a learning curve, not only for the schools, but also for him and his crew. Social distancing is required, and some of the larger school ceremonies took days to complete.
Well, graduation normally would have taken an hour and a half and you're out of there. Well, we were on location for 6-7 hours because, you know, the time to allow for one student to walk across the stage and their 4 to 6 family members. So that turned into a whole day event. And there was a lot of data to kind of go through to put together those completed presentations, but that's what we do. You know, that's the type of service that we provide.
Alan Pegues Jr. helps his dad with the shoots. He graduated from ICC in May with a virtual ceremony. He says it was a privilege to help high school seniors and their families capture a special time from a year everyone will remember.
I was very elated to see the smiles on the kids' faces, you know, as they walked across the stage, got their diploma and things like that.
The younger Pegues is looking forward to a traditional graduation ceremony from Mississippi State.
Started Mississippi State this fall, and after I finish my 2 years, I will be very excited to hopefully walk across the stage and the pandemic will be over.
Premium Productions has videotaped a few weddings this summer with limited seating and no receptions. Both Pegues Sr. and Jr. are looking forward to more weddings on the calendar next year with more high school graduations for the class of 2021. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
A day camp in Starkville is keeping students engaged in learning during the summer break. Today, WCBI's Andrea Self and Cash Matlock were the guest speakers at Miss Smith's Educational Services Summer Camp. They talked to the students about news gathering and reporting. They also quizzed them on events and topics news reporters are covering and handed out some cool WCBI gear. The students range in age from 4 to 16 must participate in the organization's after-school program. I bet they learned a lot today.
I think it was air conditioned too.
Hey, it was definitely air conditioned.
I hope so. That's the place to be. Find yourself a cool spot. Look at this. We are looking at high heat, high humidity. The heat index maybe over 105. In the near term, though, we do have some scattered storm chances, at least for the weekend. I'm back with that full forecast next.
Keith Gibson.
Squeeze in some yard work between the storms. You can do it. Just plan accordingly. There's going to be plenty of heat here tomorrow, 93 degrees, high heat indices out there too. You may want to work early or late, but of course watch out for those storms. If you can hear thunder, in theory you could be struck by lightning, so just go indoors if you hear that thunder or see a storm cloud building. The heat index tomorrow 100 to 105 plus around the region. As we roll on into your Saturday and Sunday, very similar here. So the heat is here to stay. Humidity is going nowhere fast. And if anything, it's going to get even hotter as we get into next week, hotter and drier with the same amount of humidity. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the heat index over 110 in places across the region early next week. Some dying showers here across northeastern Mississippi, and we have a bigger batch now moving through Eupora, Webster County, just to the southeast of Winona, and also back to the west, a little bit of rain. This batch is moving east at about 35, so we're thinking for you in Starkville right now, about 7 o'clock. If not a little bit sooner as we time things out. A live view in Starkville, still a little bit of sun right there, but we do expect a little bit of rain as we watch that storm complex come on in here. So let's check out our Alpha Insurance camera network across the rest of the area in Columbus and Tupelo, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi, 88 degrees. So we've got 80s and 90s out there. A very tropical, very humid type afternoon. So hopefully you are seeing some of these downpours out there. Not really a lot out there today. This little batch will move through this evening, and then we'll have a little bit of a pause, I think, and then a few more storms possible later tonight and also for our day tomorrow. So a slight chance for some storms early. Not everyone will see it. Have the umbrella on standby. By noon, pushing 90 on Friday, low 90s to mid 90s in the afternoon. And it's just going to be a warm and steamy day outside of any storm that happens to pop on up here. So 92, 93, 94 degrees, the heat index in the triple digits once we get into that daytime heating. So very warm weather for our Friday. We mentioned the storms that could bubble back up tomorrow morning and also into the afternoon on Friday. It's really going to be random where these things go. Can't really time it out too well for you, but there will be some storms around, we think. As we get into your Saturday, there's some signs that we could see a storm complex come on down from the northwest at some point Saturday afternoon or evening. That could give rise to some gusty wind and maybe a better chance for some heavier rain at times, but storms will be possible through the weekend. Then our rain chances basically get very close to zero next week. We stay hot, highs in the mid-90s with a heat index in the triple digits. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Your WCBI Sports with Chris Bolton is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further. WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
A place that I've always looked at as somewhere that could be a long-term destination for me and really somewhere that I could put roots down.
Planting those roots is the plan for new head coach John Keith as he leads Nettleton Tigers into the season. Keith has spent 6 of the last 7 years coaching at Tupelo, along with the playoff appearance at Mooresville as the head coach in 2016. Fast forward to 2020, Keith and the team want to take the program up a notch by cleaning up mistakes.
There were 50-50 games, and we want to try and close in on those games and have them swing our way. And if you get a couple of those, you're instead of a 500 year, you're looking at a year where you win 8 or 9 games, and we're working on building a mentality where we can finish those and take that next step.
Last year we just shot ourselves in the foot, but this year we're going to win all the games that we're supposed to win.
Keith is coached at both Amory and Mooresville, so he's very familiar with the region. He believes if they take care of business, they can be in the mix for the crown.
We can't beat ourselves, so the Tigers aren't going to be the Tigers. We just got to go week in, week out, and put the work in and let that stuff sort itself out. And I feel like if we take care of what we need to take care of, that when the time comes, we'll have opportunities to be in the hunt.
We just got to work harder than they do and go hard every play on the field.
Players like the culture Keith and his staff have established as they prepare for the season.
They're showing us that he's here for us and that he putting in the work as much as we put in the work. So that's a good thing that we want to see and stuff. They changed my love for the game.
I think I'm really going to enjoy it this year and have fun out there on the field.
It's that love and passion for the game and for the town of Nettleton that's fueling the team.
Last year we went 6-6 or 6-7, something like that, but that was a big change. So this year we're going to make it even bigger because it really means a lot to Nettleton. Everybody came together.
The Tigers start the season with the home opener against Bruce, August 21st. Reporting in Nettleton on the high school football tour, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Nettleton High School is brought to you by The Countertop Shop and Access School Health Services.
Not severe weather out here in Eupora and just west of Ackerman, but some lightning, some good downpours, refreshing downpours. That will be in Starkville within the next 30 minutes. So some showers, some thunder showers tonight here, Joey, and we'll have more and plenty of heat too.
Yeah, typical July weather there.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.